Hello everybody, it's me Laura again. Today I'd like to warmly welcome you to a softly spoken Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck unboxing. In this video today, I will be softly speaking about the descriptions and details of each of the 50 cards inside this particular deck. The deck that I will be softly speaking about today is Yugi Starter Deck Reloaded. Now, when I last made one of these a few years ago, it's been highly requested ever since that I make a follow-up to it. And so I really wanted to do that. I wasn't able to grab the other deck that I showed you in the video, but I was able to get this one. And I figured this one might be interesting as this is a little bit more nostalgic than a lot of the newer decks that you see. So, sit back and relax as I describe to you each of the cards in this deck. Okay, our first card is Dark Magician. It is a dark type with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. Spellcaster, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. An attack of 2,500 and a defense of 2,100. And we have another Dark Magician. Our next card is Giant Soldier of Stone. It is an earth type with 3 stars. Rock. A giant warrior made of stone. A punch from this creature has earth-shaking results. This has an attack of 1,300 and a defense of 2,000. Our next card is Mystical Elf. It is a light type with 4 stars. Spellcaster, a delicate elf that lacks offense but has a terrific defense backed by mystical power. It has an attack of 800 and a defense of 2,000. Our next card is Summon Skull. This is a dark type with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars. Fiend. A fiend with dark powers for confusing the enemy. Among the fiend type monsters, this monster boasts considerable force. This card is always treated as an archfiend card. It has an attack of 2,500 and a defense of 1,200. Our next card is Neo, the Magic Swordsman. This is a light type with 4 stars. Spellcaster, a dimensional drifter who not only practices sorcery, but is also a sword and martial arts master. This has an attack of 1,700 and a defense of 1,000. Our next card is Gemini Elf. This is an earth type with 4 stars. Spellcaster, elf twins that alternate their attacks. This has an attack of 1,900 and a defense of 900. Our next card is Dark Blade. This is a dark type with 4 stars. Warrior. They say he is a dragon manipulating warrior from the dark world. His attack is tremendous, using his great swords with vicious power. This has an attack of 1,800 and a defense of 1,500. Our next card is Kuriboh. This is a dark type with 1 star. Fiend, with the effect, during your opponent's turn, at damage calculation, you can discard this card. You take no battle damage from that battle. This is a quick effect. This has an attack of 300 with a defense of 200. Our next card is Buster Blader. This is an earth type with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. Warrior, with the effect, this card gains 500 attack for each dragon type monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. This has an attack of 2,600 and a defense of 2,300. Our next card is 4-starred Ladybug of Doom. This is a wind type with 3 stars. Insect, with the effect, flip, destroy all level 4 monsters your opponent controls. This has an attack of 800 with a defense of 1,200. Our next card is Dark Magician Girl. This is a dark type with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars. Spellcaster, with the effect, this card gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in either player's graveyard. This has an attack of 2,000 and a defense of 1,700. Our next card is Skilled White Magician. This is a light type with 4 stars. Spellcaster, with the effect, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves with a maximum of 3. You contribute this card with 3 spell counters on it. Special summon 1 Buster Blader from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This has an attack of 1,700 and a defense of 1,900. And we have another Skilled White Magician. Our next card is the Skilled Dark Magician. This is a dark type with 4 stars. Spellcaster, with the effect, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves with a maximum of 3. You contribute this card with 3 spell counters on it. Special summon 1 Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or graveyard. This has an attack of 1,900 and a defense of 1,700. And we have another Skilled Dark Magician. Our next card is Old Vindictive Magician. This is a dark type with 2 stars. Spellcaster, with the effect, flip, target 1 monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. This has an attack of 450 with a defense of 600. Our next card is Breaker, the Magical Warrior. This is a dark type with 4 stars. Spellcaster with the effect. When this card is normal summoned, place one spell counter on it, a maximum of 1. This card gains 300 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove one spell counter from this card, then target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy that target. This has an attack of 1600 with a defense of 1000. Our next card is Double Coston. This is a dark type with 4 stars. Zombie with the effect. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a dark monster. This has an attack of 1700 and a defense of 1650. Our next card is Silent Swordsman, level 3. This is a light type with 3 stars. Warrior with the effect. Negate your opponent's spell effects that target this card. During your standby phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Silent Swordsman level 5 from your hand or deck. You cannot activate this effect the turn this card is summoned or flipped face up. This card has an attack of 1000 and a defense of 1000. We have another Silent Swordsman level 3. Our next card is Silent Swordsman level 5. This is a light type with 5 stars. Warrior with the effect. This card is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. During your next standby phase, after this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Special summon 1 Silent Swordsman level 7 from your hand or deck. This card has an attack of 2300 and a defense of 1000. Our next card is Green Gadget. This is an earth type with 4 stars. Machine with the effect. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 red gadget from your deck to your hand. This has an attack of 1400 and a defense of 600. Our next card is Red Gadget. This is an earth type with 4 stars. Machine with the effect. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 yellow gadget from your deck to your hand. This has an attack of 1300 and a defense of 1500. Our next card is Yellow Gadget. This is an earth type with 4 stars. Machine with the effect. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 green gadget from your deck to your hand. This has an attack of 1200 and a defense of 1200. Our next card is Electric Virus. This is a light type with 3 stars. Thunder with the effect. You can discard this card to the graveyard, then target 1 machine or dragon type monster your opponent controls. Take control of that target until the end phase. This has an attack of 1000 with a defense of 1000. Our next card is Magician's Valkyria. This is a light type with 4 stars. Spellcaster with the effect. Your opponent cannot control face-up spellcaster type monsters for attacks except this one. This has an attack of 1600 and a defense of 1800. And our last monster of this deck is the Tricky. This is a wind type with 5 stars. Spellcaster. With the effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by discarding 1 card. This card has an attack of 2000 and a defense of 1200. And now we're going to move on to the spell cards. Our first spell card is Dark Magic Attack. If you control a Dark Magician, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Our next card is Dark Hole. Destroy all monsters on the field. Our next card is Swords of Revealing Light. Flip all monsters your opponent controls face up. This card remains on the field for 3 of your opponent's turns. While this card is face up on the field, monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack. Our next card is Black Pendant. The equipped monster gains 500 attack. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Our next card is Mystical Space Typhoon. Target 1 spell or trap card on the field. Destroy that target. Our next card is Mage Power. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell or trap card you control. Our next card is Book of Moon. Target 1 face-up monster on the field. Change that target to face-down defense position. Our next card is Thousand Knives. If you control a Dark Magician, target 1 monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Our next card is Magical Dimension. If you control a spellcaster type monster, target 1 monster you control, tribute that target, then special summon 1 spellcaster type monster from your hand. Then you can destroy 1 monster on the field. Our next card is Ancient Rules. Special summon 1 level 5 or higher normal monster from your hand. Our next card is Magicians Unite. If you control 2 or more attack position spellcaster type monsters, target 1 of them. Its attack becomes 3000 until the end phase, but other spellcaster type monsters you control cannot attack this turn. Our next card is Soultaker. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Then your opponent gains 1000 life points. And our last spell card is Shard of Greed. Each time you draw a card for your normal draw in your draw phase, place 1 greed counter on this card. You can send this card with 2 or more greed counters to the graveyard. Draw 2 cards. And now we move on to the traps. Our first trap card is Trap Hole. When your opponent normal or flip summons 1 monster with a 1000 or more attack, target that monster and destroy that target. Our next trap card is Waboku. You take no battle damage from your opponent's monsters this turn. Your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Our next card is Mirror Force. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Our next card is Spellbinding Circle. Activate this card by targeting one monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack or change its battle position. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Our next card is Rising Energy. Discard one card, then target one face-up monster on the field. That target gains 1,500 attack until the end phase. Our next card is Zero Gravity. Change the battle positions of all face-up monsters on the field. Our next card is Call of the Haunted. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in face-up attack position. When this card leaves the field, destroy that target. When that target is destroyed, destroy this card. Our next card is Magic Cylinder. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. And our final trap card is Miracle Restoring. Remove 2 spell counters from your side of the field, then target one Dark Magician or Buster Blader in your graveyard. Special summon that target. So that is all 50 cards of this particular deck. I hope that you found it relaxing. If you would like to see my previous version of this, where I unbox and softly speak about another deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I will leave a link to it in the description for you. If you would like to see me do more of these, please do let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.